welcome back to DEFCOM TV. We're here with a very good friend of mine, Charlie Weiss. If you guys don't know, I've known Charlie for almost 30 years. Almost 30 years.
Yep.
Right? We went to high school together, and it's one of those things where life takes you in different paths, but the right people always stay around, right? And one of the cool things that has happened in my life is I get to train and be around world-class people. The people that I've had in my life just went on to do amazing things, right? Not everybody, but a lot of them, right? And Charlie is one of those. I'll let him tell a little bit about himself. He's extremely humble. He won't tell you that he's one of the best shooters in the country. He won't tell you he's one of the best instructors in the country or the world. I'm telling you that, right? He won't say that. Extremely humble. But I'm super blessed to be here with the team, right? Here, come here so everybody can see, right? The championship team is here.
Right. Savages.
Okay.
Right there.
And we're going to listen to Charlie here a little bit about his life, what he's been doing, and I'm going to ask him very specific questions like you guys have seen in other videos. Okay? So, Charlie, tell us a little bit about your life, bro, and why we are here now.
Well, I'll tell you one. I've been very, very blessed. George hit the nail on the head when he's talking about life taking us in certain directions. We, thank God, I consider myself raised by Sergeant Major Cliff Levins. I didn't have a father, so to speak of. So really, it was him, our teacher in high school, who made all the difference in the world and convincing me to enlist. And I think that's where I really grew up. Grew up in the United States Army, definitely did a great job raising me. Got out, started going to college, and they were recruiting for a police department, and it's like, hey, what the heck? Might as well try. I never really wanted to be a police officer, and I was 20 years old when I got hired, the youngest guy in the agency, and I was like, hey, this is pretty fun. Got into K-9 right away. I was a young officer when September 11th happened, and I was pretty good with explosives. So me and my partner, my K-9 partner, we looked for explosives, and that became my full passion, was looking for bombs and bad guys. And police work became fun. I never did this for really money. I mean, the pay's good, benefits are good, but I did because I really enjoy just catching bad guys. I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies in society. I don't like bullies in the world. And that's the best way to deal with bullies is, go out there and protect victims. So because of that, I get into training, trying to get to better myself. Because as you see, MMA is huge in the world now, right? You can't go to, other than Wisconsin, here there's a jiu-jitsu school in every block. So
we're in Miami right now, by the way.
We're in Miami. So there's a jiu-jitsu school in every block. There's MMA school. So not all the good guys are trained there. Bad guys train too. I mean, there's videos of bad guys in prison practicing handgun takeaways and defeating officers' actions and stuff. And I had to be better. So I started getting into jiu-jitsu, and lo and behold, George is obviously amazing at jiu-jitsu, and that created another family for me to really train with. And like-minded individuals. You guys are like-minded individuals. You guys are trying to become harder to kill. You'll hear Tim Kennedy say that a lot, right? Huge fan of Tim Kennedy. Hey Tim, if you're watching this. Huge fan. I don't know if you guys, he's a UFC fighter, also Special Forces Ranger, sniper, and a big jiu-jitsu guy. Because of him and Jocko Willenick, I really got into jiu-jitsu. And it's really changed my life for the better, by far. Which is now I take that and now I bring it to my law enforcement family. Try to get them to become better. I was talking about it with you guys earlier. The more you train, it avoids certain things. People who don't train, two things happen. Either overreact or you underreact. All those bad videos you see where officers make bad decisions is because they're not properly mentally trained. And the way you do it is what we're doing here. Discussing things, getting better, shooting in the range, rolling on the mats, getting beat up, That's how we get better, man. And I'll never stop doing this.
And we just did an awesome shooting session, right? Some of these guys have shot before, some of these guys have never shot before, right? Did you guys have a good time?
Great
time. Shooting is always fun.
Great time.
But one of the things that stick out, and we're going to get into this, I'm glad we're doing it now, is when we started talking about the OODA loop. I think the OODA loop is so important.
Absolutely. So OODA loop is it was actually a coin termed by Colonel John Boyd. He was an Air Force pilot, and he taught people how to fly. And he would bet people $100 that he could start at a position of disadvantage and through various distractions get to a position of advantage faster than the pilot that was in a position of advantage could take him out. So OODA stands for Observe, Orientate, Decide, and Act. It's a process we all go through. It doesn't matter whether you're driving or you're going to open that door. What I mean by that, you see the door, okay, you're going to walk towards it. I know I got to go on the outside of it. I'm going to observe the door, I'm going to orientate myself to it, I'm going to decide to open the door, and I'm going to act, right? Now, if while you're doing that, I come up smacking the face, did you stop paying attention to that door? Of course. I slowed down your OODA loop, okay? That's why even in Jiu-Jitsu is a great place to observe the OODA loop. If your goal is to get somebody maybe in an arm bar, right? And all of a sudden you decide going for their pant leg, and they go down to block their pant leg, now where's their arm? Okay, you slow down their OODA loop. They had a plan to do something to you, but you're already a step ahead of them, and you do that. So,
we actually did that with that choke in the armbar yesterday.
Absolutely, you messed up somebody's OODA loop, and OODA loop is huge. Flashlights, great for OODA loop. We had a thing in our team. I ran gangs for 13 years, and every once in a while there'd be disagreements. We're a family just like anybody else. And how did we deal with those disagreements? Okay, we put ourselves in a building. You get a magazine of ammunition, you get a magazine of ammunition. Shoot it out. Shoot it out. We're going to get over this because we have to. Because your life is in my hands, mine is in yours. We're going to get over this today. So I had it out with one of my detectives. Okay, time to get over it. So we go in the building. This is the best I ever did. I take my flashlight, I put it on the ground, and I stood back. So my detective comes around the corner looking for me, looks at the flashlight, lit him up. What did I do? I messed up his OODA loop. He was looking for me, saw the flashlight, huh? Lit him up. So yes, I'm big on the OODA loop.
That's really cool. And making the not transitions, but the similarities of how now obviously we train in self-defense and in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we see a lot of similarities in everything we do, right? With shooting, combatives, Jiu-Jitsu, self-defense.
Absolutely.
You've been putting a lot of it together.
The best students to teach in shooting are martial artists. One, humility. If there's nothing, if that's the first thing you learn in Jiu-Jitsu, especially if you're a big guy, and that was my problem. I walked into the mats. I'm not a smaller guy, and there's guys, definitely about Sam's size that I'm about to train with. So I'm about to train with. So I'm going in. I'm gonna smash this kid. All of a sudden, I'm turning into a pretzel. If you don't get humbled by that, I don't know what's going on. And that's the first thing that martial arts, especially Jiu-Jitsu, which is based on technique. You got a stronger guy and a guy with technique. The guy with technique is going to win for the most part. Now, you take a guy with equal technique, one stronger. I don't know. But humility. So when you take somebody to shoot and that can't follow directions, which as martial artists you have to follow directions. You have to, because you put your hand from here to here, that may change the whole technique. And same thing with shooting. You guys heard me say today, that little grip difference. What difference did that make in you? Huge difference. Those little fine motor skills, those little the stance. Absolutely. You went from, and you're a very good shot, by the way. You just made that one change when you're shooting full auto, changed everything. And that's how it is in martial arts. That's why it's great teaching martial arts. Regular people that are not like-minded, scary stuff.
And we're a small percentage. Not just martial artists, but the more you know, the smaller your percentage goes. So, it actually looks after a while like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by idiots. You know what I mean? And right?
Yes.
But and also you kind of are, but we got to understand we're the small percentage.
Oh, absolutely. And you guys saw this weekend. I think, by the way, the fact that you brought your school down here, that says everything. That's amazing, because that's not just a testament to what your team has done, but as a as a martial arts school in general, there's too many politics involved in martial arts. Way too much. And that's why there's a great shirt that Tarzan wears. No politics, just jiu-jitsu. There's too many schools that are fighting. And listen, you guys went to 2 world-class schools this weekend because of relationships. I'm blessed. I trained at 3 amazing schools because of those relationships. The fact that I could bring you to 2 different schools, that's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. And how open was Professor Gordino?
Oh, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, world champion. There he is.
You guys will
take his
see.
shirt.
You guys will see that interview on this too. So keep scrolling, you'll see it.
No, that guy. Listen, that guy. That has absolutely changed my life. That school Tarzan is amazing. Professor Tarzan and his school for kids with special needs. My son, who has autism, trains jiu-jitsu. When you're told as a father, hey, your kid has autism, you think all your plans of where your kid was going to go in life go to hell. And when I found out about the school, I'm like, let's try it. And you've seen them. It's actual jiu-jitsu. It's not babysitting. They're doing jiu-jitsu, which has helped them leaps and bounds. That is an amazing program, and I hope that takes off in other schools. I really do.
I hope so too.
Well, I'm glad you guys. You guys have been training your asses off, man. Now for other man, you guys have been training, dude. And I'm exhausted because of you guys. Damn.
But so I explained to everybody we're a self-defense school. You know this. We are a self-defense school, and that's why we like today working a little bit outside of the box of the martial arts. But guys, martial arts, right? If you break the word down, right? Charlie was big on breaking words down when we were young. Yeah, right? Martial, military, right? Art is a form. Everything that we do is a military form, right? This is not something that was invented out of the blue. This was created for battle, created for war, to hurt people, right? Gun battles is a martial art. Like anything that we do coming from the military is a military form, and we get to train that in I don't want to say a lesser form, right? Because it's just different. It's just different. You know what I mean? But because of that, I always ask the people that we interview, what would be your number one self-defense tip that people can take with them?
Man, I teach a lot of women's self-defense classes. I get victims of rape, victims of different crimes that get sent to me. It's probably one of the most rewarding things I do, because I see a lot of women get closure. But one thing seems to be a constant theme with victims in general is lack of awareness. I think being aware is the number one thing. Too many, especially nowadays, you see what people walking around looking at their phones, man. They're zombies, right? They're glued to that phone, and I watch it in amazement. Women who are easier targets, and again, we talked about earlier. There's sheep and there's wolves. Nothing says a woman can't be a wolf. My wife's a bad woman, and my daughter, she trains jiu-jitsu and striking and MMA, and she's amazing too, because I make sure they train. We trained stand up in the backyard last week. We got to prepare them, and that's our job as men too, is make sure our families can protect themselves when we're not there. So being aware of your surroundings, I think, is the number one thing by far. That's the number one self. Don't be dialed in on your phone all the time. If you're a woman especially, have your keys in your hands on your way to the car. Don't wait to start digging through your purse when you're there. Don't sit in your car at the gas station, while texting on your phone. Be aware. That's the number one thing for sure. Situational awareness. That's number one key. Yeah. I know you'll see it, especially with me, like when I sit at a restaurant where I sit. It's funny, I used to do this drill. Still, even with my ex-wife, good woman, even my ex-wife.
Not a joke.
I'm being very sincere.
Because we're guys.
Very sincere. But there's a drill where, let's say we go to the movie theater, I'd ask my ex, what am I wearing? What am I wearing? I make her repeat it. Why do you think I did that?
Ask her what you're wearing.
No, what I'm wearing. I'm looking at you. I would ask you, what am I wearing right now? Have her repeat it back to me. Reason being is, normally you don't pay attention to that. God forbid something happened at a movie theater, especially, right? Especially when the active shooters things were happening. I want her to be able to call the police saying, hey, my husband is a good guy. He's trying to deal with a threat. This is what he's wearing. Okay? What's your job in case something goes, there's a shooter in here? Get our son out of the building. What's my job? Take care of the threat. That was rehearsed.
Guys, this is huge. That is huge. We've talked about this so many times, and that is huge.
It's rehearsed. Because listen, you've seen it, guys. What's going on now is not new. It's just that social media makes it a lot more noticeable. But active shooters have been around forever. Right. So yeah, we talked about it earlier. Have a game plan. Always have a game plan. If this happens, this is what I'm going to do. What happens when that occurs? I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to underreact. I'm prepared. Let's go. And you guys are gonna see it in jiu-jitsu. Oh, you're gonna go for that choke? I got something for you. It's the same thing. Jiu-jitsu is a great analogy for life. It really is. Think about jiu-jitsu. The first usage of jiu-jitsu, the word is 1532. We're not making anything up. The things I taught you up in the range, I'm not gonna sit here and take credit for making that up. I'm just regurgitating stuff I learned from other great people. And that's all we're gonna try to do. And then guess what? You're gonna do that, as you should. That's martial arts is nothing new. Been around forever.
And it's like I tell you guys, right? Like I don't teach you guys jujitsu. You guys are teaching each other. Right? You guys have heard me say that. I'm showing you some stuff, but you guys interacting and training with each other, that's what teaches. And the stuff that you guys have learned this weekend, holy crap. You know, that's gonna make our school so much better, right? So much better. You know what I mean? You guys are passing on the knowledge and traditions that I'm showing you guys, you know. And that's what it is. These are traditions, you know, the friendships that we have. I want my kids to see how friendships are created, right?
Look at David passing by.
Amazing.
How crazy was that?
Amazing. You know what I mean? Guys, David, Charlie, and I hadn't been in the same room together since 1997.
Yep.
It's 2001 right now.
But it seemed like yesterday.
Right.
We got together, it was like,
crazy.
no, we didn't miss anything.
You know, and it's like when I just talked to who was it with this? A kids class? I think it was a kids class. I was telling them like, be aware of the people you surround yourself with, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to be liked, but it's okay to not be liked by people. You know, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. Choose your friends wisely.
Just saying in the military, all he needs 2 people for 360 security. Because if I know he's got my back and I've got his, we got everything covered. All he needs 2. You know, you don't need a bunch of fake people. Have good people.
Yeah, the right people.
The right people. Yep.
That's cool. So guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this time with my good friend Charlie. The team sure had a great time with him. You guys make sure that you look at, comment on these videos, ask questions, right? Again, keep asking questions. The more people that we get in front of, the more questions you guys ask, the better this gets, the more we get to learn. And thanks, bro.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. See you guys on the next one.